2017, we're really lucky to be hosting the RMA and BFE Research Students Conference, which is a really nice conference that many academics in music do their first conference paper at, which is really nice. So we can provide this really supportive environment for PhD students to do their first paper and for more experienced ones to get feedback and that kind of thing. So we've got 90 papers happening over 3 days, plus 2 training sessions, 2 keynotes, and lots of other activities, installations and compositions over at the Sydney Cooper Gallery as well. So the theme of the conference this year is practice, which means that we've encouraged a lot of composers to come and talk about their works in progress, also performers to come and do lecture recitals. We've got workshops and other innovative ways of presenting rather than just the 20-minute paper. So we're looking forward to seeing something a bit different over the next couple of days. Practice-based or practice-led research in music is a really important area at the moment, particularly in the light of the REF. How do we document these things? How do they count as research? How can we get these things in a format that really matters for wider academia to count in the REF and all those kinds of things. So on the Saturday we're going to have a roundtable all about that because there are lots of people here doing practice-based PhDs. So we're looking forward to hearing from them as well.
It's been a great time here at the RMA Students Research Conference. I was involved in a couple of things today, one of which was a session on trying to impress upon students the role of archival research. So we were talking about ethnography, ethnographical research, music of Indigenous Canadians. It was a really great session about the things you'll find only in an archive. So the reasons we wanted to get students in an archive, why they might want to find those things. Also, we were trying to impress upon students not only the importance but the fun of doing work in an archive, and that there's a kind of combination of stillness and excitement of sitting in an archive, looking at original documents, and the opportunities those presented to you, and also how this is working now with emerging new cultures which are transforming archival research. High quality digital photography and scans that enables you to actually get closer to things than you could if they were in front of you. Sometimes closer than maybe archivists would like you to be. So that was a great chance for scholars across a couple of topics to enthuse current research students about those topics and give them some real-life examples of the kind of things we're normally doing in archives.
Today I contributed to the training session on doing documentary and archival research. Sharing some of my own experiences of doing this and giving some practical tips for people who perhaps haven't done any archival work before. So really I was trying to give as practical advice as I possibly could. So things like, how can you pay for a trip like that? Where can you start to find little grants that might pay for that? And also, what do you do when you're there? So how do you actually make contact with these archives, and what do you actually do on the day? So very simple, feet on the ground, practical advice. And we had a little discussion afterwards as well, with people having questions about how might I find this source, and so on.
In the last couple of years, the RMA has really demonstrated their commitment to practice research by commissioning a writing group and a discussion group to think about how composers and performers can be more closely integrated in the activities of the RMA. In this conference, we've tried to reflect that in a number of ways, but in particular, we're running 2 sessions that speak directly to students who are undertaking practice research. We're running an evening in the Sydney Cooper Gallery where a number of people are presenting practice from diverse positions, including installation art, speech performance, live performance, and electroacoustic music, and really allowing their practice to speak as their research outcomes. On Saturday, we've also got a session about practice research and PhDs, allowing some practitioners from different universities in the UK to talk about their approach to their research, their methodologies and the way they think through their own research and practices, and also allowing students to ask questions about how to frame their research within their university, within their discipline and within the research community as a whole. And we're hoping that these threads will draw together questions about practice and ideas about practice that are running through most of the sessions that we have during the conference to really try and integrate those debates and discussions across the whole research community and to really bring practice into the heart of the musical research that we're discussing this weekend.